Holly, this Freedom Flotilla, I mean, you look at the characters who are organising it, and this isn't about humanity.
I mean, there's no arguing with stupid, and I think that is becoming increasingly apparent when you look at these people. I mean, they are literally supporting terrorists. These people kill civilians and murder so many people, yet they celebrate them through attending their funerals. That the behaviour and the ignorance that you see from these people is really beyond the pale. But Greta Thunberg, I mean, if it wasn't so serious what she's doing, she'd almost be the gift that keeps on giving with the volume of memes and the jokes that can be made about this woman. But she's not a misguided teenager anymore. She's now an adult. And it's about time she grows up and learns how the world works, because this is absolutely appalling. And it's a stunt. They're not delivering substantial amounts of aid to Gazans anyway. It's nothing but a stunt, and the less coverage I think they get, the better. I think it's almost ideal that they left from one port and they had to return because the weather came in on them. I guess she forgot her original cause.
Exactly. Now, Steve, the issue is that millions of people online, you know, look up to Greta, follow her. We saw thousands seeing this flotilla off, you know, before the bad weather hit. And they don't understand that these figures that claim to just want to deliver aid to Gaza are supportive of murderous terrorists.
Well, they need to be called out for what they are, and what they are is propaganda tools of Hamas. I mean, Hamas has done a very good job on propaganda. We've seen it for the entire time since the October 7 attacks. They're the masters at it. I mean, we've seen these photographs, moving pictures out of Gaza where people are rattling pots and standing 4 deep screaming about how they're starving, and then when the camera pans out it shows a completely different picture. The wider problem is that people like Greta Thunberg, I mean, she is being used as a tool by Hamas, but so are so many of our young people who are indoctrinated at universities. They're indoctrinated by the left-leaning media. They're indoctrinated particularly by social media, and they all jump on board this thing thinking it's, you know, some magnificent thing to support a group who've been, as they call it, you know, punished by Israel forever. And you can't turn them around. I mean, I could take Holly and you down to any part of Melbourne on a Sunday when these pro-Palestinian marches are on, and you'll find 50, 100, 200 young people of Thunberg's age who will say exactly the same thing, and nothing convinces them that they're wrong.
Yeah, the ignorance is utterly astonishing. Let's turn to the migration issue today. Tony Burke confirmed that he's not going to lower the number of permanent residency migrants, so the current cap of 185,000 is set to remain in place. This is despite the nationwide protests over the weekend in opposition to the current migration settings. Now, despite this, the Prime Minister has been claiming that the numbers are falling.
Like our net overseas migration is falling. It fell substantially in 2024. Of course, there were going to be an increased number after the lockdown of our entire continent that occurred during COVID.
So is your message to these people, we're getting the numbers down?
Well, we are getting the numbers down.
Now, look, slightly different figures, Holly, the permanent residency migrants versus the net overseas migration. But either way, there is no commitment by the Albanese government to actually properly, you know, abandon their big Australia agenda.
No, Labor is absolutely determined to see a big Australia, and we can see these numbers are not really declining in the way that they say they are. Yes, we had the 500,000+ after COVID, but we're still seeing over 200,000 people coming into this country, 1,500 a day. I must say, and I'll say this as a former senator, I've been really disappointed that the opposition hasn't come out and taken some ownership of this issue. I think Australians are absolutely fed up to the back teeth with these high levels of migration. They cannot, you know, get a rental property. They can't get into the housing market. They see their universities being absolutely flooded with overseas students, and in fact the quality of the teaching being diminished by the fact that they're catering to so many international students. And I think Australians are ready to see a significant decline. We know that we need to still have migration when it comes to getting the skills that we need into our country.
Yep.
But this just seems to be, open up the door because I don't think there's any shortage of Uber drivers in Australia at the moment, but there's nothing being done to bring down the numbers in migration.